Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spiritual Talks. Welcome to Spiritual Talks with Gerald. I am your host, Gerald, and we are here, and we're going to get into it. Today, we're going to talk about how you don't find your purpose. Your purpose finds you. Your purpose finds you. You don't find your purpose. 12 years ago, tennis found me. 12 years ago. Financial crash. It was 2009, I believe. My financial service career was taking off, right? And I was doing really well. I just had a brand new baby, my brand new daughter. I'm so excited about life. And the market crashes in 2008, 2009. Yeah, somewhere in there. I'm devastated. I'm like, what am I going to do? I have a brand new baby to feed. My career's taking off. What am I going to do next? And so I was living in Houston at the time, and I was living in this neighborhood that had like country club type of thing in the back where they had horses and tennis and swimming pools. And what's weird is that I never spent a lot of time back there because I spent a lot of time working. But my wife and child, they knew about it. I didn't know because I just didn't spend a lot of time back there. So here it is. I started taking walks because after losing my financial advisory job in 2009, I had a lot of free time on my hands. so I used to take a walk in the back of the neighborhood. And I would see these older gentlemen playing tennis. Now, I had a athletic background. I was supposed to play in the NFL, injured myself in my knee, and didn't get drafted. So there goes that career, right? I played sports early. I was very athletic. I played everything. Basketball I wasn't really good at basketball, but tried basketball, baseball, football. Didn't try soccer. Never touched tennis. So I'm in the back of the neighborhood, and I see these guys playing tennis, and I've been just watching. I didn't really care much about tennis because I was a football guy. That was my passion. And I started seeing these guys playing, and their wives had brought out food, and it was like a thing. And I'm like, okay, this tennis thing is, these guys are really getting after it. So a couple weeks went by, and every time I'd walk, I'd go and sit because the games were entertaining. And so I'd sit maybe 45 minutes or so. And I started learning tennis, right? I started learning tennis, not physically, but mentally, just, and then one day they asked me, hey, do you want to play? And I said, yeah, I want to play. And so I got up and I played, and they're like, how long have you been playing? And I was like, today. And they're like, what do you mean today? And I was like, well, today is the first time I've ever, and no one laughed after that. And 12 years later, I have a tennis academy, and I'm teaching tennis. Your purpose finds you. I was a financial advisor who just fell in. Tennis found me. I was walking in my neighborhood. And I've taught Olympic gold medalists in tennis in Colorado, in Austin, in Miami, in Houston. I've taught all over, and I've taught in some of the most prestigious places, on the top of high-rise buildings. The only thing I haven't taught tennis is on a yacht. I haven't taught tennis on a yacht yet. That's a big one. But I've taught tennis in some of the in the craziest spaces. What do I mean by all of this? Your purpose finds you. Figure out, right? Become curious, right? Become curious. Become a kid again. Be curious about what you like. And that's the thing about your purpose, right? You got to figure out what you're naturally good at. Ask your friends, right? Your purpose start doing, this is one thing you got to do. Start paying attention to how you feel when you go and do things, right? That's how your purpose finds you. By you going and doing things automatically that make you feel good, your purpose finds you. You're like, I didn't even know I like to do that thing. Because you opened up yourself to opportunity. When was the last time you took a new way to work? When was the last time you thought about taking a new way to work? Right? How is your purpose going to find you if you keep doing the same stuff? I had to get 2009, the financial crash had to happen, and I had to lose my job in order for me to find my purpose. I'm going to say that again. I had to lose my job to find my purpose. I'm sorry. I'll say it a different way because that's not how it happened. I had to lose my job for my purpose to find me. I had to lose my job so my purpose could find me. It couldn't find me as the financial advisor. I was off limits. My mind was saturated with financial stuff. So my purpose couldn't find me. I don't know what you're doing right now where your purpose can't find you. You're so mentally bogged down by everything else that doesn't make your soul happy. It makes money, but makes you miserable. It pays the bills, but it makes you take Lexapro on depressant, and you eat really bad because you hate what you do, but you don't know how to get out of it because you don't know what your purpose is because you haven't spent time exploring it. You haven't spent time exploring what really makes you happy again. What makes you light up like a kid. Well, the thing is, you have to remember, and I know this is really hard because I'm going to talk about this in the next episode, The Wounded Child. We have to remember who we were before we gave up on our goals and our dreams. Remember when they used to ask everyone in class when we were children, "Hey, little Gerald, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I would raise my hand and I would say, "I want to be, I don't remember." And Sarah would say, "I want to be a doctor." And Jimmy would say, "I want to be a firefighter." And I want you to ask yourself this question, because I already know the answer for myself. I can ask myself this question. Gerald, do you remember what you wanted to be before the world and everyone else around you talked you out of it? Because I don't remember. Okay, I'll ask you. All right, everyone listening, do you remember as a child what you wanted to be before everyone in the world told you what you should be? Do you remember? Because a lot of times it's hard for your purpose to find you because you're so far away from it. You're so far away from what you were as a little girl before the trauma, before the abuse, before the neglect. So we got to reverse engineer, reparent ourselves and say, what did that little girl want? What did that little boy want who did he want to be? There's a little girl and a little boy inside of you that wants to be something, and you forgot. And you decided to do something else. And I don't know, wherever you are, you're listening to this, if there's a level of frustration in your life, understand that it comes from that little boy, that little girl in you that his voice can't even be heard anymore because of societal norms, because of what other people might think of you, what others might say, how your family might feel. That little girl, that little boy is so suppressed. But you can do things that can reignite that wounded child. You can as Jack Canfield said, what I did years ago, I read a book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, back in the day. It was a series. And it was by Jack Canfield. And basically Jack talked about reparenting yourself. I wasn't touched a lot as a child. My grandparents raised me as a child, and they weren't really big on physical touch and telling me they loved me and things of that nature. So I didn't grow up feeling very loved. I grew up feeling very taken care of. I knew I had food on the table, a roof over my head. I never wanted for anything, because that was always asked whenever I wanted love and attention. They would ask me, do you need anything? Like, like no, like I'm asking for love. Like, why don't you ever tell me you love me? We love you. I said, but why don't you say it? They just, right? So we have to reparent ourselves into remembering what we are drawn to do. Because sometimes as we're growing up, that's been taken away. That privilege to dream and to be again has been taken away by trauma in the childhood, by maybe the alcoholic parent, the drug addict parent, maybe foster care. There's so many different modalities on what snatched away your ability to say, I remember who I was. I remember who I wanted to be. I remember what... Yes. Oh, this is the thing. And I want us to think about getting back to that thing, healing the wounded child to get back to what we really are supposed to be. Yeah? And that's how your purpose finds you. Your purpose finds you in the healing of that inner child. Your purpose finds you in the rebirth of you. Listen, the trauma, you have a choice. You can be bound by the memories of the past and do like a lot of people do. A lot of people have a backpack on, right? And in this backpack, they have, let's just say I'm 39 years old. Here's what most people do. I wish I had my backpack right now because I'm videoing this. So most people have a backpack, right? They have their 39-year-old backpack. And inside of this 39-year-old backpack is everything that around age 5 to 7 that's ever been done to me is in this backpack. And whenever something happens to me, I decide to take all of my wounded memories and pull them out like toys and explain to you everything that's ever happened to me and how it's affected my life now. And this is why I'm overweight. This is why I'm abusive to my wife. This is why I drink too much. This is why I over whatever indulge. This is my 39-year-old backpack is with me everywhere I go because we haven't reparented ourselves and realized I've backpacked 39 years of trauma into 2023. No wonder my purpose can't find me. No wonder I don't know what I'm passionate about. No wonder I don't have any energy. Every time I remember how my dad hit my mom, every time I remember how my mother was abusive, I recall that in my spirit and in my energy, and it takes me back emotionally and physically right there. So I keep for 39 years, my body, your body keeps experiencing that trauma every time you talk about it. Every time you take your 39-year-old backpack out and you take out all of the trauma moments and you tell us about it. And you put your badge on and you say, I'm a survivor. No, you're overcome. You're none of that stuff because that's what happened to you. You're no longer any of that. So take the survivor thing off. Take the victim, all these badges, take it off because it's just you. And you get to find out what's really inside of you by not victimizing yourself with all of the trauma from 39 years of living is in your backpack of experiences. You can take this backpack off whenever you like. Is it heavy? All the trauma? It is. Your purpose can't find you because you're bogged down. It's heavy. Pack light, as Erykah Badu said. It's time to pack light. All right? Let your purpose find you by getting rid and healing the wounded child inside so you can rediscover, reimagine, recalibrate what's inside. Okay? All right. So I hope this allows you to see how your purpose can find you, because your purpose can find you. Okay? All right. So until next time, this has been another Spiritual Talk with Gerald. Continue to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, And we're on YouTube streaming this podcast. So some people are audio people, like they're auditorial learners. Some people are visual learners where it's like, I need to see what he is saying. I need to see his words and see his face so I can have a deeper connection. And if you like the podcast, but you want to have a deeper connection with me and see the face-to-face mannerisms and things as I have this podcast, follow us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I will see you guys. And remember, healing is a journey, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. And this has been another episode of Spiritual Talks with Gerald. All right, I'll see you soon.